Welcome to Hub City Spokes, a podcast where we talk to entrepreneurs, artists, and other influencers. I'm Mike Jones, your host, and on this episode we have Melinda Pharies with Carpet Tech. Melinda and Chet own Carpet Tech, a floor care and restoration services company. Hi, Melinda. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. So tell me a little bit about Carpet Tech and what you guys offer.
So Carpet Tech is basically your overall floor care restoration service. So anything that you have in your home, basically carpet, tile, hardwoods, whatever we can take care of. We clean, we restore, flood, fire, restoration, bring it in home and take care of it from top to bottom.
Okay, and is kind of flooring the focus of your business and the only side of home care that you guys handle?
You know, there's a lot of different aspects to our company that we do and that we've added through the years. Floor care is the basic what we do. But, you know, any more tile leads to, can be anywhere, you know, it can be in your shower, it doesn't matter where it's at. Basically, in like upholstery, all your furniture, everything, you know, if it can be cleaned, we will clean it.
Okay. Now, what is your area of operation?
So basically for me, with my husband and I running Carpet Tech, I focus on the business relations side of things in our business and marketing the business and making sure we are where we need to be and when we need to be.
So you're responsible for these cool trucks running around with the full body wraps, right?
I don't know if I'd go that far. My husband definitely has had a knack for that and knows what he wants and what he likes and how he wants it to look, but definitely getting him out there, I'll take care of that.
Yeah, you know a carpet tech truck when you see it.
Yes, sir.
So I'd say job well done on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so I would normally ask what a typical customer is, but I think that we know who that is, a homeowner, business owner, right?
Correct.
So let's talk a little bit about how Carpet Tech as a company came into existence and the journey from there to here. So
basically how it happened is my husband's brother, Chad, started just needing a side job in college. He actually was walking on at Tech to play football, and he was diagnosed with cancer and passed away while he was here at Tech. And his parents decided that, they didn't need the van. Nobody was going to probably continue doing it in Lubbock, and they sold it to a local fireman. At that time, he, took it, ran with it, decided he couldn't make it work into what he needed it to be. And so he called Chet's parents or his dad and said, before I sell this, I want to see if you would want it. And at that time, Chet and I were both here at Tech. I was playing basketball. He had played football and decided after Chad had passed that it just wasn't his passion. And so when he called to sell the business, Chet said, I want it. I'm going to take on my brother's legacy. This is what he started. We're going to do it.
And what business was the fireman doing?
They kept it Carpet Tech.
Okay.
And it was just a small minivan, cleaning carpets. That was it.
Okay.
Carpet Tech.
Yeah.
And he kind of took it from there. And, here we are today. And we wouldn't be where we were if it wasn't for the Lubbock community and all the people that surrounded us. Right.
And so you started off with one van.
Started off with one van. Chet was going to school, trying to go part-time. I was playing basketball full-time student, just kind of doing it on the side, and it took off from there, and he decided, I'm going to make this my career. If this is what my brother wanted, then we're going to see where it can take us, and we're going to make it what he wanted it to be, and grew from there. Gathered a couple of friends and buddies that he grew up with, and one van led to another. And at that time it was, we did restoration, we did flood, but it basically was carpet cleaning.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea how many vans you guys, how many trucks, vans, vehicles?
Oh, goodness.
It's a fleet, right?
Correct. It is a fleet. Altogether we have, around 150 employees.
Right.
And we tried to at least have 10 to 15 trucks out a day here in Lubbock. Mm-hmm. Obviously not what we could have ever imagined, but because of community and people and everything, we are where we are today.
Right. And I believe I've seen your trucks maybe in Midland or Odessa as well.
Yes, sir. So we are in Odessa, we are in Clovis, New Mexico, Amarillo, and Prosper.
Okay, that's great. Do you have any idea, or do you care to share, like your first year revenue type figures versus something nowadays?
I honestly could not tell you.
Yeah.
When we first started, Chet did it, I was playing basketball and I did what I could do to help out, but I wasn't around much for it, traveling and everything. And I honestly could not tell you that answer.
Okay. Fair enough. So along the journey that you guys have had, 150 employees, that's impressive. To build a company from that size to this, from one single van to a fleet of vehicles and 150 employees, that's really impressive. And usually people don't do that on their own, right? So usually you might have a mentor or, some ecosystem resources to kind of push you along or answer questions or help you out. Did you guys, were you able to take advantage of any of those situations?
Absolutely. We were surrounded with some amazing people. Obviously, with being at basketball, Marcia Sharp was one of my hugest mentor, but it didn't stop at basketball. Anytime Chet needed anything or had a question about leadership or, just growing his team, she was there 24/7 for him.
Absolutely. You don't accomplish what she accomplished without being a tremendous leader, for sure.
Correct. And Michael and Lisa Robertson were instrumental. Lisa Robertson, actually, here in Lubbock, she was one of Chad's very first customers.
Okay.
And kind of put him on the map. Basically, he walked in the door as a college kid and she fell in love and said, okay, what do you need? And so when Chet did it, same thing.
Right.
She grabbed a hold of him and said, I'm going to tell every single one of my friends and they're going to get their houses cleaned and, you're going to be the one to show up at their door. So we had some amazing people. You think about Lubbock, Texas, that's the first thing I always think about is just the people, the community, the camaraderie.
Sure. And so Lisa,
Yes.
Lisa kind of leveraged her personal network.
Correct.
And encouraged all of her friends and everything.
Yes.
Now, what is Lisa's story? Do you guys just know her as a friend?
Her husband, Michael Robertson, was actually the team doctor at Tech.
See. Okay.
And so he was with Chad through his journey, and she just being the person that she is and just deciding that, I believe in what they're doing and I believe in their mission and who they are and I trust them. And she just kind of jumped on board. Awesome.
Having someone like that in your corner is a huge game changer. Growing a company from a guy or two people in a van, right, to hundreds of people out doing things, that's like having 100 different companies really between the size you are now and the size you were then. Did you have a roadmap and maybe a set of goals for either the number of customers served or the number of employees or anything like that that you guys followed as you grew the company?
The biggest part for us was whatever we do it right, but we do it by serving. That was always the way Chad was. That's the way Chet is. That's the way we are today. We believe in CT experience. If we come to your home, we're not cleaning your home. We are giving you an experience. And that was something that Chet always felt like if I'm going to grow or I'm going to add services or anything I'm going to do, I'm going to perfect them the best I can, but I'm going to provide people with the experience that they know if I walk in their home, they feel safe.
That's great. Now, in today's environment, of course, entrepreneurship, starting businesses, all that, there's a lot of buzz around that kind of thing and a lot of resources available to people that are wanting to start businesses now. You have an established business. This is a two-part question. The first part of the question is, were you able to, or did you even know about any kind of infrastructure type resources to help you start your business or grow your business as you guys were moving along?
The best thing for us was I believe, to this day, is being in Lubbock. There's not a committee or a board or a group or organization that you can't find in Lubbock, Texas, that is there to help you. There to help you network, to get you in front of the other people that are trying to do the same thing as you are. And that's been huge for us. Instrumental in what we have done, because we had those resources right here in Lubbock. And, to join a realtors association when we're trying to market realtors, and, join the Chamber of Commerce in Lubbock, Texas, that is huge.
Yes.
To have those things, that's the first thing I would tell people is, if you have that, get on board.
Yeah. It took me a long time to learn. I've been doing business, owning companies in Lubbock since 2003. And I didn't really do any networking or anything until sometime around 2014. And I wish I could go back and tell myself, yes, you're a software developer. Get out of your chair and go join the chamber and go to the chamber events and do all of these things, meet all these nice folks, and they'll help you out.
Right.
But I did not. But I know now. And that's the next part of the question is, are there any of the kind of governmental agencies or civic organizations or clubs or anything that you guys are members of now, or that you consume their services now, that have helped you out?
I think the biggest one is the Chamber of Commerce. We've always been a member, but we never, when we first started, we utilized tech, which was huge for us. I mean, for me to be a part of that and be around everybody and being able to share the business, that was huge for us. But I don't believe that we ever really fully invested into the chamber the way we do now.
Right.
And there's so many different resources, events, ways of networking, getting in front of people that we do now, that if we could have done it then right off the bat, I feel like you would have some different changes, or just your resources in general, advantages.
No, I agree 100%. And so, when you went to go back a little bit, when you were playing basketball at Texas Tech, did you come here from somewhere else?
I came from the big city of Nazareth.
Nazareth, okay. That's about like Dickens, which is the city.
Yes, exactly.
That I grew up in, yeah. Okay. And so I know what your Fridays and Saturday nights look like, probably, driving around. And so you came to Texas Tech for basketball.
Yes.
Did you know your husband? Did you know Chet before that?
I did not. I met him at the weight room at Texas Tech. So he came to play football, and I came to play basketball.
And where's Chet from?
Clovis, New Mexico.
Clovis. Okay. So somewhat local.
Right.
Yeah. As far as Texas driving distances are concerned.
Yes.
All right. What do you guys do for fun here?
Well, the biggest part is we have 4 children. So whatever they do for fun, we do for fun. But the best part of it is Lubbock. You can get them involved in every single thing they want to be involved from. Football, basketball, soccer, dance, any bit of it. So that's what we do. They jump on board, they say what they're interested in, and we figure it out and find a place for them, and there's always a place for them.
At what age are your children?
My oldest is 18, and then I have a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, and almost 10-year-old.
That's a good spread there.
That's right. We also have a ranch that is between Post and Snyder.
Yeah.
So if we can get there, that's where we like to be.
Yeah. Oh, so what is that, about 75 miles probably?
Not even.
No?
No. It's probably, takes us about an hour.
Yeah. Who's driving?
Well, it just depends.
I drive slowly.
Oh, okay.
So you guys were able to leverage your personal networks, leverage your educational networks, the people that you knew here, went to school with, and all of that. And that helped you with your businesses. Now, I know that I see Carpet Tech everywhere. I see Carpet Tech is sponsoring this, and I see your banner up, and you guys are sponsoring teams or whatever else you guys are doing. Talk to me about some of the things that you guys do to give back to the community. The
biggest thing for us, and this is probably, it's definitely Chet's heart, but this is where, I love, it's my passion, is to be around people and to help and be involved. There's so many different things in Lubbock that everybody's trying to help someone. We've just been lucky enough to be surrounded by amazing people and this community that we are in a place that we get to give back. So, just any local chapter that we can, that, we don't ever turn anybody away. Obviously, we wish we could help everybody or do something, but one of the biggest things for us is the Alstrom's Angels that's here in town to help a local girl that, was diagnosed with Alstrom's disease. She, has lost her sight and different things, but they do a lot of different charity events, and we get to be involved in those and know that, that money's right here, and it's helping somebody right here local in Lubbock.
Right.
Same thing with with Luke Siegel with the foundation. If we can help and be involved in that, we jump on board and involved in that. Boots and Badges, which is for our local, police department and our fire department.
And I think the event is around the corner for that.
Yes,
right?
It is. It's the 27th. So, that's another thing that we get to do. And, each year we try to just go and cook for our local fire department or our local police, and that's something fun. That's something that we get to do and help out, but we get to just say thank you.
Sure.
So obviously we're involved at Texas Tech, love the university. We both there. We know where our hearts are.
Sure.
So when we get to do something like that, it's always fun, and, we're able to give back and do something to hopefully help them grow and be up and coming. So
right. And that's important, for the growth of the community. You have to have the young people, encouraged and inspired, to do the things that need to be done, and seeing, folks who have been through that and been successful like you guys, is really a big part of that, I think. I think that involvement with Texas Tech is key. Let's talk a little bit now about some lessons that you have learned from mistakes that you have made, right? So I don't want it to necessarily be that open-ended, but I'll just go with that. So, give me an example, if you would, of a business decision or a situation where it's like, I did not handle this the way that I wanted to, or the way that I see now would have been a better way.
I think the biggest thing for us is, sometimes when you jump and stuff, everything is going well for you. You're finding success. And so then you think about that next step. What can I do now? What can I do next? Maybe a little bit is jumping too quick.
Sure.
Forgetting to maybe perfect a trade that's already there that needs work, that you need to, develop and improve on, versus going and find the next better thing. That's something that we've learned a little bit too, growing business. Like if you see another community and you think, man, Carpet Tech would do really well there. You can't forget about what you already have, and you can't ever forget about where you came from. So I think the biggest part is, always making sure that you appreciate what you have and that it's being taken care of before you go on to the next thing.
Okay. What are you learning about now? What holds your passion today?
I think the biggest thing for me now is, so I didn't always work directly in the business. I played basketball. I stayed on staff at Tech. I then went to the Red Raider Club. I went to the business, tried to raise some children, and then I went back to Tech. And I discovered that, where I needed to be or where I wanted to be was with my family. And that's not just my immediate family. Like Carpet Tech is my family. And so I think the biggest thing for me right now is just being able to get involved, and people know who I'm with and they know what I stand for. I haven't always got to do that. So now I can get involved in all those community, outreach programs that we do help, but I get to actually be a part of it and see what it does. So, that's my biggest probably passion right now, is just being a part of Lubbock and all it has to offer.
All right. That's great. Have you read any good books lately?
Okay, I'm going to have to confess I'm not a reader.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is, I love to listen to motivational speech. I love quotes. I love, stuff like that. I am not a reader, and I've never been. And so people start talking, I'm like, I need to read that. I need to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm bad.
Sure. Well, it's just not everybody is.
Yeah. And the time, I'm like, I could go do something else. Or so.
What experiences have you had? And this could be professional, recreational, whatever else. What experiences have you had that someone else should have? Right. So I live here. I live in Lubbock. I work in Lubbock. I own companies here. What should I experience that you have?
I think the biggest thing is finding out what all Lubbock has to offer. I think we get in a certain place and we don't even realize what truly is there. And that's something that I have been learning to do, that I, wish I would have done that from the beginning. I think we all get, life is crazy. Kids are crazy. Everything, you can go every which direction, but not losing sight of where you're at and what is here. So that's something that I like to try to tell everybody, is it's not always just look out and that's what you see. There's a lot out there, and there's a lot to do. Right.
Have you ever been to the First Friday Art Trail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just within the last year.
Yeah. It's great. I don't know how many art studios are down there. And I went the night they opened the new brewery down there, Two Docks Brewing, and that was fun. I had never been before. My family goes. My wife and children go all the time, and I'm, not necessarily, it's not necessarily my bag, but I knew that some of the people that were in Two Docks were veterans. I'm a military veteran, and at least one of those guys is too. And I wanted to meet them, and so I went over there that evening, and had a great experience there at the whole thing. It's a great experience. You can go and see all the art studios and art installations and you can do art while you're there. Participating type things. You ride the bus around to different deals. It's a really good experience. Can you think of anything else like that I should be on the lookout for?
There's so many different things. Just like last week, it's probably maybe more of a women's event, but there was a lot of men there. The Uncorked that the chamber puts on, and all the local wineries come out and they bring other wineries in from all over, and it's just something that I think people hear and they're like, and they don't really go and experience, but it's a really fun thing to do and gets you out of the house, and just different things, just like the Buddy Holly Center that's being built, and wow. Right. So, just different things like that. Even the cactus, I think you forget about, but then you go and you're like, that was really fun.
Yeah. And it's a full production play.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. No, once again, my wife and children have done that.
That sounds like my husband.
and I have not yet partaken, but I do intend to.
Yes.
So,
another thing is we're big sponsors in For Golf.
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. I think everybody, always thinks Top Golf. Well, I think everybody should try it, and they would go. And everybody that I know that has gone, they've had a great time.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. I'm not a golfer.
I'm not either.
So I haven't tried that one either. You
don't want to see me try, but I did.
No, I tell you, one of the cool things that I like to do with my kids is mountain bike riding, right? And you think, okay, well, we're in West Texas, where are you going to do that at? Well, we've got one of the world's largest canyons just up the road, right?
Right.
And we can go there and we can mountain bike. We can take in the Texas play they have there,
yes.
The huge production they have there, and it's a world class park.
It is,
and a really great environment. And so there are lots of things to do here if people will get off their couch and maybe cancel their.
Go find them.
Yeah, I was going to say cancel their Netflix subscription, but I might get in trouble for that. I don't know. Let's see. Now, in Carpet Tech, let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
In your role as basically marketing and public relations type, is it kind of one woman show there, or are you?
Oh, no.
Right. So what does your team look like?
So basically right here, what we call our corporate office, it's made up of a sales. We have one sales personnel that's directly just sales. That's all she does. And then we have me and another girl that do marketing and head up the department that she helps with like the social media and different things like that. And then we have a sales personnel in each location that's their job. But, that's one thing that I truly love about our business and everything. It's just, there's not anything that somebody does that another person should never come to the table or bring to the table and say, hey, have you ever thought about this? Right. Our general manager that we have now is one of my best friends and has been for a long time. And she did marketing for us, so we put our heads together. It's always something, what can we do? And it's collaborative. So there's never anything that is ever a one-man show, and that's the biggest part that I really, truly enjoy about being around every day and being around, even the guys will call and say, okay, this is what's going on. What do I need to do? Right. So I would love to say that I could just say that I could take that credit, but I can't.
What are some things that you do that maybe, someone else could learn from as far as adding value to your team, right? I mean, you're the buck stops here as far as that goes, that side of the team. What do you do with your team to kind of encourage them and create that collaborative environment?
The biggest thing is always making sure, I don't want to say a pat on the back, but if somebody's doing well or we have a customer that calls in, we make sure that everybody knows that. And, make sure that they were noticed for what they do and that we appreciate them.
Right.
A big thing, part of what we do, and we do tailgates or we do cookouts or we do events. It's all of us. It's not just a marketing going out there and do it. It's our guys working the event. It's all of us working it together. So we get to do stuff that's not just go and into a home and clean and work and do, but we get to be involved together. So we know each other. We know, I know when your baby's going to be being born. I know when you're getting married, and I was there for it. So, that's a huge part of who we are and what, I always tell people when they interview, like if you come, I'm a little bit selfish. Like, I don't want you to leave, you're part of my family. So, that's what we've always, no matter what job it is, no matter what position, we all do everything.
That's sounds like a great environment to be in.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay. So let's switch gears here. So what do you want to do with your life?
Whew. When I grow up?
Yeah. What do you want to do when you grow up, I guess is what I should ask.
I'm still raising my family, and I know where my roots are, and they're in Lubbock, Texas. I don't ever really see myself leaving Lubbock. Too much has happened here, too much growing here, too many relationships that I don't ever see me just leaving. I can see my husband and I, retiring at some point in time and hopefully headed to that ranch and living there, but we'll always have a place in Lubbock. Hopefully my children are getting an education and growing their families. And, when they do that, it's their choice where they do it, but there's no better place to raise a family than Lubbock, Texas to me. But I don't know. I can't ever not seeing Carpet Tech not being a part of our life. From every person in it to what it is today, I just can't foresee a future without it.
Oh, I understand that.
Now, me there every day, maybe not.
Well, when you get to that point where you're not there every day, and you get tired of sitting on the back porch out at the ranch, watching the sun go down, which is spectacular.
Right.
Are there any new skills or hobbies that you would like to kind of try?
I don't know if it's new. I'm not a golfer, and I don't believe that golf is probably for me, just because of my mentality. But I have always enjoyed tennis. I love tennis, and I've always said when my kids are grown and they're off, I want to pick it back up and play. So that's kind of, I tried to do that for a little while when the kids were younger, and it didn't work so well.
All right. Sounds like a
challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, I got my youngest are 11. I have twins that are 11.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so what am I going to be when they're out of the house? Like, I don't think I could play tennis now.
Yeah. Well, you just never know. I think it's a little more leisure at that point in time than it is if you went and did it probably
just
right now.
Back and forth.
Yes.
Not the power serves.
No.
Okay. All right. And so another interviewee, I asked a question, and basically the question is, what would you like to learn from the other participants? And so I'm going to ask you the same question, but before I do, I'm going to ask you his question. Okay. Which is, in your business, can you think of any kind of maybe unconventional or innovative, he called them hacks, that you use in your business to better serve your customers, or, to keep track of things better, anything like that?
I don't, off the top of my head, can think of any really true hacks. Mm-hmm. For us, the biggest part is sometimes it's not about the service you're providing necessarily as far as the job, but it's the service you're providing as a person. And I will stand by that 100% to anybody trying to grow a business, that if somebody feels comfortable with you and what you are doing, they're more apt to use you than to somebody they don't know.
Right. No, I think that's a very true statement. And then, so if you could ask future people that are sitting there in that chair where you're sitting now a question, what would that question be?
You've probably asked it, but I like same thing with everybody. If you could do one thing different, what would it be and why?
Right. Yeah. That, to me, that's a great question, because the whole point of having mentors, having a community, is so you don't repeat other people's mistakes. Right. And, heaven knows I've made plenty of mistakes, and therefore have a lot to offer someone as far as what not to do. And I think that that's a valuable commodity. And the last question for you that I have is a question that here at Texas Tech, in this very building, actually right downstairs, we do 1 million cups. I don't know if you're familiar with 1 million cups. Huh. It is a nationwide entrepreneurial community. And the idea is, let's have a cup of coffee and talk about our startup businesses. Okay. And so I'm involved in that. And the last question that we always ask anyone is, what can we, and we being the broader we of the community, the ecosystem, LEDA, the chamber, Texas Tech, me personally, what can we do for Chet and Melinda Pharies and Carpet Tech?
So you're asking me what that is?
What can we do for you?
I honestly believe is the biggest thing that you can ever tell somebody in a community and a service is, give me just one chance. Mm-hmm. You give me one chance, I will show you why. And I believe you'll give me a second chance.
That's great. That's a great answer.
So,
Melinda, thank you for coming and talking to me today. And I hope to see you again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hub City Spokes is presented by the Lubbock Economic Development Alliance and produced in partnership with Hamill Brothers Studios. A special thanks to the Innovation Hub here at Texas Tech University for hosting us. To hear more from our creators and catalysts, visit lubbockeda.org/podcast.